Yes, folks, hello, welcome once again to MoDXtra Games and Collectibles, and it's time for another review on the channel. It's a statue review today. I've not done a statue review in quite a while, and as you can see on the screen right now, today's review is going to be the Mighty Jaxx Off Works, spelt with an E, Snake Eyes vinyl figurine that I picked up from Hasbro Pulse here in the UK. So stick around, I'm going to show you all the finer detail on the figure, take a closer look at the packaging and all that good stuff, so that if you're thinking about picking up one of these of your own, then hopefully my thoughts today will help you make your mind up. So, yeah. Let's get into it. Here we go then, folks. Here is the Mighty Jaxx Off-Work Snake Eyes vinyl figure in the packaging. You can see that it's a windowed box with some G.I. Joe branding at the top, the name of the figure across the bottom. The window doesn't really help a great deal because, as you can see in there, they've got some protective plastic baggy thing going on in there. We'll take a closer look at what's going on with that, but it means you don't get the benefit of really actually seeing the figure. However, in order to solve that, on the back, we've got a picture of the figure there, the little breakout boxes with the key features highlighted, like the #1 ninja mug, the cell phone, the little bonsai tree, and the little bonsai tree trimmers, and of course the figure. So that's all, even if you can't see it in the window box at the front, at least you're still getting it there at the back. One nice little touch to give the packaging a little bit more shelf presence is this little snake motif running in the background there. If you run your finger over it, you can see that it's slightly embossed, giving it a little bit more of a prestigious look and feel with a bit of shine as well. Under my lights here, which you can see reflecting off this edge of the box, you can really see it, but it's very subtle in sort of normal daylight. On the side of the packaging, got the Arashikage tattoo symbol logo here. On the other side, got the G.I. Joe star. And then on the base, it's just all the folks that are involved, really. There's Mighty Jaxx, there's your authenticity hologrammy thing, Hasbro, G.I. Joe, bit of made in China stuff, blah, 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 and web links and what have you. So there we are. Let's get it cracked open. I've already popped the tape on one of the sides here. So pretty standard kind of fold-out box like this. Take the flaps, and we can pull out the plastic blister pack like so. Okay, this is interesting. Got a little kind of secret envelope-y thing here, which we'll investigate in a sec. And then if I angle the box just right, you can see it's got that lovely Snake Eyes artwork, which I think is the same artwork, or similar artwork, that featured on the G.I. Joe Classified 00 Snake Eyes. It's like a big kind of Japanese demon kind of motif with some shuriken and swords and snakes and stuff, which is really awesome. Then into the vinyl figure itself, so we'll pop this off. Nice and easy. Take the figure out. Oh, a couple of the hands have fallen loose already. Incredibly lightweight, which you can anticipate for a vinyl figure of this nature. And there we go. So he comes out the packet here, as you can see, holding the bonsai tree and the trimming scissors. It's a bit of a loose fit in terms of that hand on that side. We'll investigate that more in a minute. And then you've got the two hand swaps for the mug and the cell phone. So there we go. All right, let's see what's in this little envelope, shall we? Okay, so there's like a little sort of NFT thing with a QR code on it. I'm going to keep that face down. But the idea is that you scan it and register your Snake Eyes and get an NFT. Don't know whether that's one of the contributing factors to the price. And then let's have a look in here. There we are. We've got the Mighty Jaxx Originals Certificate of Authenticity. This is certified that the figure identified herein is the original and authentic product of Mighty Jaxx International. It's been inspected and approved by a team of experts, blah, blah, blah. Little stamp. There we are. And then a little Mighty Jaxx care card, a little something for you. I'm not really sure what that's telling me, but like a little comic book thing that I'll have a read of. Anything else? No, just a little certificate of authenticity and a comic book. All right, okay. Well, let's pop Snake Eyes on the shelf for a bit, and then I'll come back probably tomorrow and film some review thoughts. All right, then, here we go then. Here is the Mighty Jaxx Off-Works Snake Eyes. I've had him out on the shelf for a little while. I've conducted a closer examination, and I'm ready to share some review thoughts. So, a little bit different for a statue review. I don't quite run these the same way as I do my action figure reviews because, we've got no articulation to talk about, the accessory selection. Well, this one does actually have an accessory selection, but I don't usually talk about accessories. I'm just going to dive in and take a closer look at some of the lovely aesthetics aesthetic details of the figure. So let's get into it. Okay then, so despite the fact that it is a relatively minimalist design with a sort of cartoony aesthetic, there's still some lovely touches there to give it some depth, to give it some texture, to add some contours and to sort of bring it to life in that sort of cartoony, cheeky, cutesy style that they've chosen to go for this design. Obviously, the kind of piece of storytelling they're trying to convey here is what does Snake Eyes get up to in his off hours when he's lounging around in his quarters. He gets his dressing gown on and he takes care of his bonsai tree. You know, that's the basic story they're telling here. But you can see lots of nice little touches to give it, you know, some better dimensions. So you can see creases and folds and contours in the helmet here, for example. Got the lines in his visor, his little breathing holes in the front of his mask there. You can see the folds and creases in the dressing gown as it drapes down the front of the figure here, and you can see the folds and creases, for example, in his little tie-wrap belt there. The dressing gown's got this lovely snake motif that is sculpted in, so you can see it coming across here at the front, and then it continues up the back of the dressing gown across the back of the figure there. So he's got the kind of, you know, he's Snake Eyes. So he's got a obviously a custom made dressing gown here, the custom robe that he wears in his off hours. Also a nice little G.I. Joe symbol emblem there, or paint application on the chest on the top here on the left hand side, and then also the Arashikage logo here painted on his right arm shoulder piece, and then you can obviously see he's got these white trimmings coming down the edges of his robe and on the ends of his belt. Moving further down into the legs, he's got some knobbly knees going on there that have been again sculpted details, and then because he's a out in the field action dude, his Snake Eyes, he's got some knocks and scrapes across his shins there, and these have been depicted again, sculpted into the model in a kind of cartoony style with the cross to indicate the injury on his shin. And then one lovely little cute touch is that he's got Timber slippers there, so they've got Timber's face. Although the crossed out eyes are a little concerning. It's like they're indicating that he's killed Timber and turned him into a pair of slippers, which I'm certain is not the case. Obviously, they are homage to his Bezzy buddy, not made from timber, but you can see nice little fluffy details there on his, where it's cushioned, nice and cushioned for a bit of comfort on the feet. Speaking of sculpted in injuries, I didn't mention it before, but you can see there's an injury, a scar across his throat here, again sculpted in detail. And then we've got the bonsai tree itself, which is kind of a minimalistic, cartoony design, continuing that aesthetic, and then the little trimming scissors to keep his bonsai tree nice and healthy. The hands are a little weird, they're a bit blocky, but they work in the sort of cartoon style, comic booky aesthetic that they're going for here. So they're all right, and to be fair, from the front on, you can barely see them. And the way the hands peg in, you've got a little bit of movement if you want to do a cutesy little angle, or have the scissors facing out or facing in. That's entirely up to you. Incredibly lightweight piece, as you would expect from a vinyl figure, but the sculpting detail is lovely nonetheless. I mentioned before that this statue has some accessories, and you saw them when I did the unboxing. He's got some hand swaps here. In this side, in his left hand, he's got his cell phone. Looks like an iPhone to me. On the screen there, on the digital display. I'm struggling to get it in focus, but you see it says Scarlet there. He's giving Scarlet a call. Yeah, nice little nod to the comic book lore there. And then he has his mug that says #1 Ninja on the side. And then you can see at the top here, he's got a bit of coffee going on in there. Again, nice paint applications, lovely, neat and tidy. Lots of kind of good, I don't know what to call it, like the body language of the way he's holding the phone and holding the mug is very... adds to that visual kind of storytelling piece that the statue is giving us. Now, these are pegged in. I think there's a little magnet in there. If you look there, you see that? There's a little magnet to hold them in place, which is all right. But they are, despite the magnet, they're a bit loose, and I do find myself knocking them out like that. But it's nice to see that added element just to make things a little bit more of a smoother, easier experience. I think probably on display, I've had both out. I'm going to stick with the mug and the cell phone. I like those more in terms of the look and feel. I feel like Snake Eyes using his phone Obviously, checking the MoDXtra Games and Collectibles Instagram as well to see the latest photos and news that I am sharing on there, which I'll put on the screen in the corner here somewhere. When he's not on the phone to Scarlett, you know, or getting a few angry tweets out there, having words with Todd McFarlane about his quality of shipping when it comes to DC Multiverse figures here in the United Kingdom. May also be on the phone to Cox there, letting him know that he needs to have a word with his C-suite. And that's about it, really. Not a lot else to show and tell with this one. It's very much one of those things whereby if these kind of sort of mash up, cutesy, humorous little spoofy type figures, statues, your bag, then this would probably appeal if you like that cartoony aesthetic and some of the cutesy little humorous touches they put in there. Then it's probably a thumbs up, which it is for me. You know, I've picked it up for that reason. But if this isn't your bag, then you probably absolutely hate it, and perhaps some people are a little bit in between. What I will say is that this is expensive. It's expensive. In fact, if you watch my weekly video blog that I did last week or the week before, that's called Listen to Your Friend Chris, and I do one a week inconsistently where I just take a look over the news. I saw that these had gone up for order and said, oh, I'm probably not going to go for one because they seem pretty expensive to me. And then, because I've got more money than sense, and, well, I haven't even got the money. I've just got no sense, because FOMO got the better of me, because that's how I'm programmed, and I couldn't stop looking at it thinking, I think that's really funny and I love it. I went and picked one up, but it's very expensive. I mean, this is a 70 quid statue, which is, even for someone who collects statues, you know, I pick up Minico stuff, I pick up Gentle Giant, Diamond Select stuff. It's expensive in comparison even to those guys, and I would probably say quality wise they offer a little bit more for a better value price. So you're very much paying a bit of a Hasbro premium on it there. One other final thought: this whole scanning in and getting your authentication code on their app and all that, because there's a digital tag inside here. I can't get it to work. I can't get it to work at all. There's a little sticker, or was a little sticker on his back telling you where it was, and I've been waving the little thing, waving my phone over the back there, and it's just not picking it up. I don't know what's going on. So if that's an important element to you, the kind of digital ownership piece, then I can't figure out how to get it work. And so there you go. Yeah, if you like that kind of silly little fun sort of daft story that they're telling there of Snake Eyes in his off hours, you know, doesn't even take his helmet off when he's chilling out, but you fancy a Snake Eyes in a robe with a coffee mug and in his slippers, and that makes you chuckle, and you got, you know, the money to burn or the visa to abuse, as is my case, then you might find that this is the figure for you. Otherwise, I'd probably say it's a bit expensive for what it really is. But this will be one of those that I kind of find a space for somewhere that's out on permanent display. Okay, then. Well, there you go. There's the Mighty Jaxx Off-Works Snake Eyes statue. So I do hope you've enjoyed my video review today of this statue. I do statues, action figures, trading cards. I'm just a massive man-child nerd in a state of arrested development. And if you worship at the broad church of adult collectible nerddom like me, then this is possibly the channel for you. So please do consider subscribing. But in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful week. And I'd like to see you around these parts sometime soon for another video if you'd be so inclined. So yeah, hope to see you again soon. Have a great day, everybody. Ta-ra.